Welcome back to Tools and Track. This thing now has an engine in it, which is good. And yes, in this episode, we're going to deal with making it have an engine more in it. But first, we need to play catch up on more bodywork. The curse of I'll deal with this later strikes again, and this time I really have let the standards drop. Right, same rules apply. We've got it nice and flat. I'm going to get a nice uniform layer of glass fibre filler in just to build up these last bits, and then yeah, lather, rinse, repeat. This shouldn't be too bad if I can just get a good flat surface to begin with, assuming I can. This seems familiar. I seem to have a real problem going from getting a panel looking the right shape and getting it looking good for paint. It goes from being in the right shape to a big step that seems to be missing when I put paint on it and it looks absolute garbage. Anyway, I'm not a painter, so I'm not really going to get hung up on it. We'll address it. There's a reason as well why I'm happy to get in the primer stage in this guy and then not worry too much, because whilst I'm probably not going to hit this in black for a very good reason, we'll touch on in a minute, I can take my time with this. It's not a critical panel. I can just, tweak it away. The reason being, the scuttle is actually going to need to be in place because I have a lot of things I need to do soon with various bits that need attached to it. The nose going similarly, well, it can pretty much go on and live there, but I need to tweak a few things and leave it in place. This guy, that just needs to go on at the end. It will need to go on for a couple of reasons very soon, and one of them I'll point out right now, is this, or more specifically, that. Because I did test fit that panel a long time ago when I put the engine in the first time, and it was wobbling. I think we're gonna have to do substantial mods here. I'm not really into this bending down malarkey. We've got a dolly that I need to test the tensile strength on now that there's an engine in place. Let's put that in. So that's a little hole cut, and a wonderful little hole it is as well. I've probably cut way more than I have to, but don't forget this engine has potential to rock. So that level may rise. It's a wee bit too close to just not cut a full clearance for. So we have a full clearance. It's probably a bit. Well, listen, the reason I'm a bit is because as ever, we are one step forward and two steps back. This is slowly becoming less of how to build a cut car and more how not to. So I'm fully at the stage here where I would advise against ever adapting a Westfield body to fit a non-Westfield 7. As you can see, as Brian is expertly pointing out, that looks fine. Yeah, the lines all match. That's wonderful. From the front, from the side, that line doesn't look quite as good. And then from here, it's absolute garbage. I mean, that's TVR spec gap, isn't it?
That is a gap.
That is a gap.
Mind the gap.
That's mind the gap. The worst thing as well, it's not even like a uniform gap.
Yep.
Look at that. It's like, I don't actually know what to do with this, because what's clearly happened is I did clamp all this together. We proved that, we did it. We went, right, that's the width it all needs to be. And added material here and we built it up, but it's clearly warped or flexed or something's
It's
just man. I don't know. So I'm actually now looking at it going, would it just be easier if I made all this out of aluminium and started again? But see, for the moment, it looks garbage, right? But it's also suitable for the task, right? So it'll keep rain off the engine. I can finish this and make it all work. We're just going to ignore all this. I know it looks garbage. You know it looks garbage. Let's not say any more about it for the moment until I learn skills, and we'll just deal with it.
Nice push button.
We've took ourselves out here. Look, that's it. We get to go outside today.
Yeah.
I thought, with all the bodywork disasters we've had, let's just finish something decent. So we're going to go and try and finish this, and whilst doing various bits of last minute sanding, something occurred to me.
That's quite good actually.
Yeah. How did I attach this to the car?
It's going to be like a kite.
Yeah. So these are now quite aerodynamic and lifty, and there's nothing.
It's like a foot of non-attached fiberglass.
So we may have to come up with something to bolt this on. Now I've had a look, and the most obvious way, this is just gonna have to be loose, because like it's too tapered an angle to get anything with serious, like girth in there that will hold in. But this bit here is nice and wide. We've got a nice flat panel here, which we can attach like a bracket to, and have it kind of come up like this. But following your criticism, your scathing criticism of the weight that I've added.
Well, you're like 10 kilos of fiberglass filler.
Have you felt how thick that is?
Yes, I know. I'm fully aware of how heavy this is.
Yeah. So I'm not really wanting to do angle iron to make a really obvious.
You may as well. You've already made it. How heavy?
Thanks. So let's do some spicy aluminium works. Well,
let's try and save like 15 grams on the 5 kilos of each per side that we've added.
So we have now got the facilities to do fancy welding of fancy stuff, as demonstrated here, just to prove the point. Now this offcut is actually perfect, because that 6061 stainless that we did the floor in, it's nice and thick. It does have quite good tensile strength. The only problem is it doesn't bend. So for me to make an angle bracket with this will require choppy chop and re-weldy weld.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a go, because apparently this is my car, but all the welding seems to be getting done by him at the moment.
That's because you booger weld.
Shut up. Oh yeah.
Give me a wee look.
So that wasn't me. That was almost good editing, but
Alright.
yeah.
It's alright,
That-
I kind of managed to fix your bit a wee bit.
Oh, shut up. Yes.
It's Tommy made these the wrong shape.
I didn't make them the wrong shape. Here, right.
You told me weld them like this, so we weld them like that, and they don't
Right,
fit.
I made a calculated template,
Yeah,
right?
so that's the wrong shape.
But as usual, my math isn't great because what I failed to account for is that the thing's tapered. So these now sit quite a bit out. Quite a bit out.
Yeah, but can you not just cut the bit at the back so it sits in further?
No, it needs to bend like that.
Bend it like that then.
Well, the whole point of me doing this is because these don't bend,
Well,
right?
they will
So
bend.
I think what's probably going to happen here is I'm going to put these in a vise, try and bend them, and we're just going to snap it.
No.
How much do I bet?
If you hit it hard enough, it'll bend.
Let's try Daniel's idea, because if it doesn't work, he's welding them again.
Great. Maybe next time, actually, just do them properly. There, done.
Look, there we go, bend.
That's great. Maybe next time you should just measure it.
Maybe next time you can sook my rook. Yeah, that's actually perfect.
Right, that's great.
Just got to do the other one.
Yeah.
And the other one's the one that will break.
It won't break.
It'll break.
Stop. You should
Might also need to trim just a wee bit
You
down
make so
here.
much drama out of something that's just not.
Because if there's no drama, people don't watch it. That's how YouTube works,
Great.
apparently.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to call that an elegant solution, but you're never going to see it, so it's an effective one. Fundamentally, that now attaches in 2 points. We're going to add many more, but I'm probably going to wait for it to be finished. But crucially, we'll be doing things in that area, so I wanted that buttoned up before we move on. We'll deal with the back in due course. But one last bit of body work we're going to deal with in this misery episode. Let's see how we mount that. So I don't know, nor do I particularly want to know why this is longer than an inch when, you know, most of this kit car isn't. But, you know, Westfield things. So what I've marked here is what I don't have in the way of material and what I do. So nice obvious bit here, because there is a strength of bar that runs along there, and then this is actually open. So I think between these corners, so around about here, which equates to, if you had an inch on, around about there, that's a good hold point. As for the rest, well, two obvious rivet points, and to be honest, they're within the range of me doing it, but I don't know about riveting this stuff. Like, I don't know how else can hold up, but then again, what else can I really do? So that's the big gap we've got for this. So yeah, two rivets probably work okay, but the problem is the previous rivet holes do not look great. So the good thing is, if we're doing the big mount at the front, which we still have the space for, we could probably just re-drill these to be slightly off where they are now and make something work. Obviously there's been a bar that matched that bar on the original one that we no longer have, but that's what happens when you buy butchered second-hand parts. I don't think I'm going to trim this excess just yet, because I've got a habit of doing that and then it bites me in the arse. So we'll just make do whatever overhang there is and come back to that. So as per every single aspect of this project, I drilled it wrong, and it was too close to the chassis rail that runs along here. But fear not, it actually presented a solution regardless, because this was going to be one footery task. So we have super sealed these in and made them into studs. That means that when we put the scuttle on, it just drops onto these and it locates, because I was having a bit of bother getting these holes lining up. It's really awkward reaching in and stuff like that. So if I wanted to take them off, I just need to undo the nuts, lift the whole thing up, and we're sorted. I've not done the same here, because I think it's going to be a rivet job. The rivet thing was fine enough for the Westfield that this came off of. So the leading edge, where all the wind and force is going to be on this, that's studded. So I'm kind of like, well, you know, that's got strength to hold it in place. All we need to do then is just make sure the whole lot doesn't rattle about with rivets. So that will be a task once these are bonded on. So it's probably a good point at this stage to wrap up. Next time we are going to do anything but bodywork, because I am hating this. But at least we're making progress. That's the main thing. If you like the progress we're making, patreon.com/toolsandtrack. Give us a nudge. Say thanks for the no ads that we don't see. If that's not for you, cool, like, bell, subscribe and share and all that jazz that I ask and nobody seems to do. Anyway, until next weekend guys, drive safe.
Well, I'm going to wash my wheels because they're manky, and then I'm going to go.
Right, so one for the camera, right? Craig's ethic to car washing is just make sure the wheels are clean. But not just clean wheels, like the important bits, the backs.
Yeah, you've got to get the inside of the wheel, so when you look through the wheel you can see that it's all nice inside.
But they're not even dirty.
They're a bit dirty.
So how dirty are they?
They're dirty,
Is there
they are
like,
dirty.
is there
They
like...
are dirty. I swear to God, they're dirty.
Okay.
When
was it they were last...
Let's go have a look at
when were
Craig's
they
dirty
last
wheels.
washed?
Craig's dirty wheels.
Look, these are really dirty, look.
They're dirty, but I'm not washing this isn't going anywhere.
Where?
Later. Right, look.
Right.
That one's alright.
They're all alright.
Look at
They're
them,
all
even like,
fine.
right the way through at the
This
back
one, look.
is clean.
Look. Look in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Where?
I mean,
Yeah.
the whitest of white wheels, you'll...
See it? And you can see it, you can clearly see it. It'll be fine.
Let's see what Craig's going to use to clean his wheels.
Jeff Banks shower gel. It's soap is soap, so I had loads of
Soap,
this
soap.
from Christmas.
Soap is soap.
So that does the job.
Moving on.
There's literally not a speck of dirt on this vehicle. It is.
It's spotless.
It's, look at it.
Absolutely spotless.
It's
But
literally.
It needs a wee bit of shower gel.
Look, the wheels are actually so bright they're saturating the camera.